Max. Max.
There's just something thrilling about scenes with great needle drops. But there's something even more thrilling about how this scene was crafted. It weaves themes, character arcs, plot devices, and an intricate editing with such precision that it didn't just elevate the show, it actually saved it from dying.
I thought we lost you. I'm still here. I'm still here.
In its last couple of seasons, Stranger Things has mastered a couple things above all its other decaying qualities: story pacing, score, and great parallel editing of storylines for climactic sequences. Parallel editing refers to the technique of cutting back and forth between two or more simultaneous events to create tension, narrative complexity, or thematic contrast.
You renounce Satan.
Avengers: Infinity War frequently uses parallel editing to jump between different groups of heroes scattered across the galaxy, allowing the film to maintain narrative momentum while weaving multiple storylines into a unified dramatic arc. And that's exactly the same thing Stranger Things is doing.
You're not listening.
The show cuts between storylines in a suffocating way, with higher cadence every time a volume reaches a pivotal nexus moment for the arc.
My friends in Hawkins, are they in danger?
I'm afraid your friends in Hawkins are very much
Can I see Fred's file?
in the eye of the storm.
This way, they are compensating with great technical form what the show has gradually lost in terms of substance, writing, character arcs, and story cohesiveness. And this particular needle drop moment in episode 4, directed by Shawn Levy, is basically the blueprint for this storytelling style that defines the key moments of seasons 4 and 5. It became instantly iconic, and for once it uses its histrionic visual and technical resources to tell the best version of this sequence, and not just for show or retention. For context, we need to recall how this scene is the result of a nexus of 3 plotlines converging into the greatest crisis yet that season, and how even before the needle drop happens, the editing and screenwriting structure are building toward a masterful payoff. Mac's storyline functions as a commentary on depression, a silent entity that isolates you from the people you love and eats you from the inside.
You know you can talk to me, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Convincing you that you are the problem, corroding you with past mistakes and guilt, draining you of any joy or desire to stay alive. Vecna, like depression, is a fog that wraps around you and locks you inside yourself, to the point where sometimes the only perceived escape is simply
for you, and yeah, it's a failsafe for after, if they don't work out.
There's also another setup. The show establishes Vecna's ritual for killing his victims through clear, repeated elements. Once those images become familiar, the audience knows exactly what's at stake, and so parallel editing has suspense. So when this moment comes, the audience goes into full panic. The scene stakes are already set to a maximum level. Now, needle drops are a tool we all recognize and enjoy. But there's a step beyond simply dropping a track in post, when the song exists within the film's inner world because it offers more possibilities and layering. During Holding Out for a Hero in Shrek 2, there's irony in the villain playing the song for Prince Charming and Fiona, while the actual hero storms the castle.
Alright, big fella, let's crash this party.
It's an instance of brilliant parallel editing, not just for suspense, but for meaning. Stranger Things does the same, just on a smaller scale, but the principle is identical, a character fighting to interrupt something, in this case Max and her friends trying to stop Vecna's ritual. And in this instance, the needle drop gains even more narrative weight because it becomes a plot device for resolution. Nancy and Robin's subplot connects directly to Max's. They discover the emotional key to defeating Vecna. Music as comfort, music as resistance against despair. The season's mysteries begin to take shape through the first real insight the characters uncover about how to fight Vecna, exactly at the most decisive moment. From a storytelling perspective, this is excellent layering, converging exactly when needed. This is where the song's narrative role becomes justified in plot and theme. It becomes a positive charge counterbalancing Vecna's negative one. Their clash dictates the beat-by-beat pacing. Hope versus despair. Even the framing here places Vecna blocking Max's tunnel of light, emphasizing how he embodies depression. People love to mock power of love resolutions as cheap or lazy, but they are not when they are earned. In fact, it's one of the most powerful and empathetic forces a story can use, because love is real, community, attachment, human empathy. We practice them, even if fiction must remind us sometimes of that. But for it to work, you need setup, you need to build toward it. Stranger Things, a story rooted in friendship, unity, and the purity of childhood bonds, absolutely can use the power of love, even in its darkest, most brutal, most mature moments. So given Max's depression and emotional isolation, her turning point has to be the realization that she's not alone. It's an internal victory before it's an external one. She overcomes something inside herself in order to face what's outside, all motivated by the song unifying the intercutting of memories and action. Color and life remind Max that she is alive and must stay alive. There's an ironic counterpoint between the uplifting track and the horrific situation. Max runs symbolically toward the light. It's overwhelming. And in the final resolution, she returns physically to the living world and metaphorically to life. And we get one last payoff line.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
And so Stranger Things established its definitive technical approach to storytelling. Precise parallel editing across storylines, layered writing that unveils answers exactly when they matter, epic music and character arcs and themes concluding as plot resolutions. But this first time, this one time, it was special. And it hasn't been repeated just like that, because Max's arc that season felt like the show was finally trying to say something meaningful beyond its noble spectacle. And with this entire sequence, it did. It said something more than an action beat. It used its spectacle to give us a warm light anyone in despair could use later, to remind us never to stop running.
We're right here! I'm right here. Okay? I'm here.